So in this video, we are going to learn how to create PDF documents in Google Drive from new item in mundane.com. So guys, if you're using mundane.com to manage your new tasks or your project related details, this automation is going to help you a lot. So using this automation, whenever a new item will be created in mundane.com, automatically with the same item details, we are going to create a document in Google Docs. We are going to enter those new item details into a document. And after that, we are going to upload the new document which we have created using Google Docs as the PDF file in our Google Drive into a specific folder. So if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. After reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as mundane.com to Google Docs. And then just click on Create. Now you can see that a workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. Now the idea here is, first, we have to connect our mundane.com account with Pabbly Connect, so that every time a new item is created in mundane.com, the details of that newly created item will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, we are going to send those new item details to Google Doc. And here in our Google Docs account, we are having a template document. In this template document, we are going to enter the details of a new item which we have received from mundane.com. And then we are going to generate a new document over here, which will be stored in our Google Drive. So here guys, in this video, I'm just taking an example of scheduled interviews. Like in this mundane.com board, I'm entering the details of an upcoming scheduled interview with the candidate details, like their name, the date and time of the interview, the name of the interview, the position for which the candidate has applied, the department, location, address, skills, and other details. And with these details, we are going to add these details into the template document which we have created, and we are going to create a document for the interview. So the interviewer is going to have this document at the time of interview where they can see all the details, and also they can enter their notes or points over there as well. So let's see how you can automate this process. We'll get back to our workflow, and here in this trigger window in Choose App, search for mundane.com. Just select it. After selecting mundane.com and trigger event from the dropdown, select the trigger event as new item in board. Just select it. After selecting our trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And using this webhook URL, we are going to connect our mundane.com account with Pabbly Connect. So what we are going to do, we are going to add this webhook URL in our mundane.com account. And to do this, we just have to follow the help text given below over here. So just copy this webhook URL from here and then just go to mundane.com. After reaching to your mundane.com account, from the left sidebar, click on this profile option, and here in these options, go to integrations. After coming to this integration page, just scroll down and here you can see an option named as webhooks. Click on webhooks and then it is asking us for the board, that for which particular board we want to add this webhook URL, like the data or new items from which board we want to send to Pabbly Connect. So select your desired board and then it is asking us for the event, that for which event we want to send data from mundane.com to Pabbly Connect. So here is an event named as when an item is created, send a webhook. Just click on this event, add to board, and then here it is asking us for the webhook URL. Now here in this webhook URL field, we have to paste the exact same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and then paste it over here. Click on connect. And this is it. We have successfully added this webhook URL. Click on add to board and now our mundane.com account is connected with Pabbly Connect. Now every time a new item will be created in our mundane.com board, automatically the details of that item will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And here in Pabbly Connect, you can see that it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some new data, some new details of a new item being created from mundane.com. So let's do it. We are going to create a new item in mundane.com. So let's create a new item over here. So in this item section, I'm going to mention the name of the candidate who has been interviewed because we are taking an example of a scheduled interview. For example, demo user. This is the name of the person, just a random test name. Then let's add a date and time of this interview. But before we add date and time, as I have given this item a name, you will see a new row of item is added. And here in Pabbly Connect, we will see instantly as we enter the item name, the details of a newly created item will be captured. So here we have received a response in Pabbly Connect. And in this response, you can see the name of the item over here, and also you can see the group in which this item is created. So here guys, we can notice that whenever an item name is entered, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. But we haven't entered other details in this item. Now because Pabbly Connect will capture, monday.com will send the data of a new item as we enter the item name, and we don't get the time to enter the other details of this item. That is why here what we are going to do in this automation workflow, we are going to add a delay of some time. And after a delay of some time, for example, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, any delay of your choice, we are going to retrieve the details of this exact same item. And after retrieving those details in the next step, we will be getting all the details of a new item which we have received. So at the time of workflow execution, Pabbly Connect will capture the response. Monday.com will send the data of a new item whenever a new item name is entered. Then this automation workflow will be delayed for some time, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And after that, in the next step, we will retrieve the details of the same item which was created. And then we are going to add those details into this Google Docs. So how it is done, we will see that in a couple of minutes. But first, let's enter all the details in this item. For example, I'm going to select a date as 27th of April. The time will be 9 a.m. The interview time is 9 a.m. and the date is 27th April. Then let's enter the name of the interviewer, for example, Pabbly Test. This is the name of the person who is going to take an interview, just a random name. Then let's add a position. So I have added a drop down. The position is, for example, PHP developer. Department is IT. Then let's select a location. The location, we have two options, on-site or remote. So we are going to select remote over here, just some random responses. So now we have to enter the address. So I'm going to enter a random address. So this is the address. Then it is asking us for the skills, the last column. So in skills, I'm going to add some new skills. So this is the data of skills as well. So just now we have added the complete details of a new item which we have created in monday.com. But here in Pabbly Connect, in the trigger response we saw, we have received the response only with the item name. So we wanted to add some delay. And to add the delay in this automation workflow, what we have to do, we will just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in Choose App, we have to search for this feature of Pabbly Connect. We have to select this feature of Pabbly Connect that is called delay. So just select delay over here in the action step. After selecting delay, it is asking us how much delay you want to put in workflow. And here in this drop down, we have two different options, delay for and delay until. So we want to delay this automation workflow for a few minutes, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So we are going to select delay for over here. Then in delay units, we want to select minutes, and then in value, let's enter 5 over here. So I guess 5 minutes of time is enough to enter all of these details. Also, we have to mention the email address. We had this field, we missed it. So let me enter the email address of this candidate as well. So I'm going to enter the email address too. So in this way, I have entered all the details over here. Now here in Pabbly Connect, we have added this delay. Just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response shows that whenever a data of a new item will be received from monday.com, automatically this automation workflow will trigger. It will start, and after triggering it, this automation workflow will be delayed for 5 minutes. It will be on hold for 5 minutes. Then after 5 minutes, what we wanted to do, we wanted to retrieve the details of this item which we have created. For that, just click on this add action step button. And here in Choose App, once again search for monday.com. Just select it. After selecting monday.com once again in the action step, this time in action event from the drop down, we have to select the action event as get item. So get an item, this is the action event. Just select this action event over here. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here in this action step, once again, we have to connect our monday.com account with Pabbly Connect. And this time to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our monday.com account. So you must be thinking how we can get this API token. You can read the help text given below over here. Just go to your monday.com account, go to this profiles option, and this time we have to go to this administration section. Just click on it. Then click on API from the left sidebar, and here you can see the API token of your monday.com account. Just copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting this, just click on save. Now when we click on save, we will see our monday.com account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting our monday.com account, the first thing it asks us is the board. So here in the drop down, you can see a list of all the boards which we have created in our monday.com account. So we have to select the board in which we have created this item. So we have created this item in this board named as hiring board. So here from this drop down, we are going to select that particular board. Then it is asking us for the group, that it is most likely possible that into a single board, you might have created multiple groups. So item from which group we want to retrieve the details. So right now in this board, I have only one group named as scheduled interviews. So here from the drop down, you can see only one group, that is scheduled interviews. Just select it. And then it is asking us for the item ID, that what is the item ID whose details we want to retrieve. So every time we create a new item, guys, a new item ID will be generated. Every new item will have a unique item ID. And here in trigger response, which we have received from monday.com of a new item being created, in this response, we have received this item ID. Here you can see that a response named as Pulse ID. This is the item ID for this particular item. So whenever a new item will be created, instantly Pabbly Connect will get the details. Monday.com will send that new item details, and in that details, we will have this item ID. So from these responses of a trigger window, we have to map this response of item ID over here in this item ID field. And guys, what we have to do, we have to turn this mapping button on in front of item ID, and we have to clear the default response. After clearing it, we have to map this response of item ID, this Pulse ID which we have received in trigger window, into that particular action step. So in this action step, just click here, and from the drop down to map this data, here you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from monday.com in the trigger window. Responses from the previous step, like from delay as well, and also from the trigger of monday.com. And from these responses, select this response of Pulse ID and map it over here. After mapping this Pulse ID over here, we have given monday.com that the details of which item we want to retrieve. And after that, just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have entered in this item is now received inside Pabbly Connect. Here you can see the name of the item. Then we will scroll down. Here you will see some details. Like the first thing which we have entered over here was the email address after the item name. So we have this response of email address. Then here you can see the date and time, that for which date we have scheduled this interview. We have this column of date. And here we have entered 9 AM as the time and 27th of April 2023 as the date. And here in Pabbly Connect, you can see that we have received the response. Here you can see the date, and here you can see the time. Now you will notice that the date is 27th of April, but the time is 3:30 AM over here. But we have entered the time as 9 AM over here. This is because while sending the data, while sending the item details to Pabbly Connect, monday.com will change the date into UTC time zone. Right now, I am in India, and in India, we follow Asia Kolkata time zone. I have entered this date and time according to that particular time zone. But while receiving the response inside Pabbly Connect, monday.com has sent this data according to UTC time zone. So what we have to do, we have to change the format and the time zone of this date and time. We have this date and we have this time. We are going to change the time zone of this date and time with format from UTC time zone to Asia Kolkata time zone in the next step. It is a very simple process. We will see in a couple of minutes. But first we will scroll down further, and here you can see the name of the interviewer. So we have given the interviewer name who is going to take the interview, Pabbly Test, and here you can see the same name. Then we will scroll down. Here you can see the position for which they have applied for. The position was PHP developer, and here you can see the same position. After this, you can see department which we have entered IT, and we'll scroll down, and here you can see the same response for that. Then the next thing is the location. We have entered remote over here in location, and we have received the same data. And also we have received the address and skill too. So we'll scroll down. Here you can see the response of address and the skills. So all the column of data which we have added in this item, we have received the details of all the column of data from there, from monday.com inside Pabbly Connect, using this get an item action step. Now after getting these details, we want to send these details to Google Docs so that the template which we have created in Google Doc, using this template, we can enter this data and create a new document over there. Now to do this, what we have to do, we just have to click on this Add Action Step button. But before that, we have discussed that the time which we have received from monday.com is according to UTC time zone. So what we are going to do, first we are going to change the format and the time zone of this date and time. Like we have received two separate responses for date and time. First, we are going to change the format and time zone of this date and time. Because in our document, we are also going to mention the interview start date and time. And to make this happen, we are going to use a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect that is called Date Time Formatter. So just scroll down, click on this Add Action Step button, and here in Choose App, search for Date Time Formatter. Just select it. After selecting Date Time Formatter by Pabbly, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Format Date with Time Zone and click on Connect. When we click on Connect, the first thing it asks us is the date. That what is the date and time whose format and time zone we want to change. So we wanted to change the format and time zone of this particular date and time. So what we have to do, one by one, we have to map this response of date and time in this field. In such a way, like we will click here, and from the drop down from monday.com responses of get an item from the third step responses, select the response of date, then give a space, and then from the drop down, select the response of time. So in this format of date and time, we are going to mention it. Then it is asking us from format, that in which particular format this date and time is present right now. So from the drop down, we are going to select this particular format of year, month, date, hours, minutes, and seconds. Because in this same format of year, month, date, hours, minutes, and seconds, this date and time is mapped over here. Then it is asking us to format, that into which format we want this date and time into. And then here in this drop down, we can see a list of different responses, different date and time formats. Out of all of this is a pretty simple format which we use in our day-to-day life of day, month, and year, hours, minutes, and seconds, the date with time. So we are going to select this particular format. If you want, you can select any other format of your choice as well. Then after this, it is asking us from time zone, that according to which time zone we have received this date and time. So as I told you, we have received this date and time according to UTC time zone. So from the drop down, we are going to search for UTC over here and select it. Then in to time zone from the drop down, we have to select in according to which time zone we want to convert this date and time. So we have entered this date and time over here according to Asia Kolkata, according to the Indian time zone. So from the drop down, I'm going to select Asia Kolkata over here. But instead of Asia Kolkata, you can select any time zone of your country where you are creating this automation workflow. Like your country might have a different time zone, you can select that particular time zone over here. And after selecting to time zone, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And after clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And in this response, you can see the same date and time according to the Indian time zone, Asia Kolkata time zone, and to the same to format which we have entered. We have the day, month, year, hours, minutes, and second. We have 27th of April 2023, 9 a.m. The same date and time of the scheduled interview which we have entered in monday.com. After this, what we have to do, we just have to send all of these details which we have received from monday.com and date time formatter to Google Docs, so that using this template, we can create new document over there and store them into a Google Drive. For that, just click on this Add Action Step button. And here in Choose App, search for Google Docs. Just select it. After selecting Google Docs, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Create a Document from Template. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. So we have to connect our Google Docs account with Pabbly Connect over here. And to make this connection, click on this Sign in with Google button, and then we have to select our Google Docs account in which we have created the template. Just select your Google Docs account, scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Docs account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. Now you can see that after connecting our Google Docs account, the first thing it asks us is the template document. And here in the drop-down, you can see a list of all the documents which we have created in our Google Docs account. So here guys, we have to select the document using which we want to create new document. We have to select our template. So I have created this template document in Google Docs named as Interview Document Template. So here in Pabbly Connect from this drop-down, we have to select that template document using which we want to create new docs and want to add monday.com item details over there. Then after this, it is asking us new documents name, that what will be the name of the new document which we are creating. So you can basically enter any name of your choice. I want to give the new document name as a combination of the name of the user or the name of the interviewer over here, which we have entered, name of the candidate and the email address. So we have received this data of name of the candidate and email address over here from this monday.com responses after getting an item details. So here we have the name of the person and here we have the response of email address. And one by one, we are going to map these details over here. So we'll just click on this field and from the drop down from monday.com responses, after get an item, we are going to map the response of name of the candidate like the item name. Then I want to mention a hyphen and then I want to add the email address. So in this video, I just took an example of combination of the name and email address with an hyphen. But if you want, you can enter any name or any details of the candidate of your choice over here. After this, it is asking us new document location. So the new document which we are going to create using this template, all of those documents are going to get saved into the Google Drive of the same Google Docs account. So here in this dropdown, in this field, we have to select that on our Google Drive account, in which particular folder we want to save these documents. So in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the folders which I have created in my Google Drive account. So right now, I have created a new folder named as Interview Docs. And in this folder, in this particular folder, I want to save the new documents. So from the dropdown, I'm going to select the same folder. Search for Interview Docs and select it. After selecting the location, the folder in which you want to save the document, here you can see we have some fields. Date, time, interviewer, applicant name, position. So here guys, in our document, template document, we will see I have created all of this field, all of this data which I wanted to add from the new item of monday.com in this document while creating a new document. And here guys, in this template document, I have added some text in double curly braces. Here I have written date, time. Here we have interviewer. Here you can see applicant name. Here you can see position, department, location, address, and skills. So all the data, all the dynamic data, like all of these details like date, time, interviewer name, applicant name, and all of this data are going to change for every new document, every new item we create in monday.com. We are going to add those details and it will be a new data. So in this template document, we wanted to add these details over here. All of these are dynamic data, some dynamic fields, which will be keep on changing for every new document. That's why we have added these text in double curly braces. We have created some dynamic fields over here. And the text which we want to place in place of this dynamic fields, you can see that all of these dynamic fields are seen over here as fields. So what text you want to enter in place of date and time over here in this template document, we have to enter that text over here in this date time field. And after that, here we have the field of interview. We have created another dynamic field over here of interviewer. And then here you can see that we are going to mention the name of the interviewer which we have entered in our monday.com account while creating a new item. So here guys, in this field, we are going to mention the same name. That's why we have created the dynamic field for that as well. So here guys, in this way, we have created all the variables, all the dynamic fields of the new data which we want to add in this document while creating a new document over here in this template. So here, one by one, we are going to map the respective data in their field. Let's start with date and time. So using date time formatter, guys, we have changed the format and the time zone of the date and time, the interview date and time, which we have entered in monday.com while creating this item. So here guys, from this responses of date time formatter, we are going to map this response of date and time over here in this field. Just click on this field and from the drop down from date time formatter responses, select this response of date and time and map it over here. Then we wanted to mention the name of the interviewer. So we have entered the name of the interviewer over here in monday.com while creating the item. And after getting the item details here in response, you will see that we have received the response or the name of the interviewer as well inside our workflow. So from these responses, map this name of the interviewer over here in their respective fields. So one by one, in this way, we have to map all the data which we have created in our template document. So let's map the applicant name. So applicant name will be the name of the item which we have created over here in item name. So map it over here. Then let's map the response of position which we have entered over there. So that's PHP developer. Then map the response of department. Here it is IT. And the location as well. So from the drop down, select the response of location, that is remote. Then map the response of address and skills. So in this way, you can basically create any number of fields, any number of dynamic fields over here in your template document. And all of those dynamic fields can be seen inside Pabbly Connect. And here in Pabbly Connect, you can map the text, map the data which you want to enter in place of those dynamic fields in the template document. So in this way, we have completely mapped these details. After this, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, using this data and the template document which we have selected, a new document has been created. The name of the document is the same name which we have mapped over here, entered over here, and the new document is saved in the same folder which we have selected over here. So let's check it. We will go to our Google Drive account in this particular folder, Interview Docs. Let's go there. And yes, guys, here you can see that in our Google Docs account, a new document has been created. And the name of the document is the same name, the name of the candidate and the email address with an hyphen. Then let's open this document and we will see this is the exact same template document which we have created in Google Docs. And here in this new document, the text which we have entered in place of these dynamic fields, the text or the data which we have entered in our mundane.com with the same details, we have created this document. Here you can see the same date and time which we have entered in mundane.com. Same interviewer name, same applicant name, position, department, on-site, address, and skills. So all of these details of a new candidate are here in this document over here. So here guys, we have successfully created this document. After this, what we wanted to do, we wanted to upload the PDF of this document on another folder of our Google Drive. So let's do it. We will get back to our Pabbly Connect workflow. We'll click on this Add Action Step button. And then here in Choose App, we will search for Google Drive because this newly created document is present in our Google Drive. After selecting Google Drive in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Share a File with Anyone. Click on Connect and then select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect, and this will be the same Google Drive account whose Google Docs account we have connected. Just click on this Sign In with Google button, select the same account, scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Drive account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the file ID, that what is the file which we want to share. So we have selected this action event, share a file with anyone, because we want to get the PDF link of this document which we have just now created using this automation. So here in file ID, we wanted to mention the file ID of this document which we have just now created in the previous step using Google Docs action. So in this response, when after creating this document, here you can see that we have received a response of document ID, and this is the file ID of this particular document. So what we have to do, we have to map this response of document ID from Google Doc response to this file ID field. Just turn on this mapping button, clear the default response, and then from this drop down from Google Doc responses, select this response of document ID and map it over here. After mapping this document ID over here, what we have to do, we will just have to click on Save and Send Test Request. So just click on Save and Send Test Request. And when we click on Save and Send Test Request, we will see some response. Earlier, this document was private to only me, but now it has shared with anyone who is having the link of this document. Any person having the link of this document can access it. And here in this response, you will see some links. So we will just scroll down to this response and you will see different links of the same document. This is the web view link, this is the RTF link, and then this is the HTML link of this document. And then this is the PDF link of this exact same document over here in the PDF format. We will just copy this link from here, go to a new tab and paste it over here. And after pasting it, you can see that the same document which we have just now created will download in PDF format. So here you can see that the same document which we have just now created, we have received the PDF link of this document as well. Now what we wanted to do, we wanted to upload this same PDF file document to another folder on our Google Drive. So let me create a new folder over here. I'll just create a new folder, for example, PDF files. And then just click on Create. Okay, so a new folder is created. Just open this folder. And then here in Pabbly Connect, we just have to scroll down, click on this Add Action step for the last time, and then once again in Choose App, search for Google Drive, because we are going to upload this PDF file into that Google Drive folder. Then in Action Event from the drop down, select the action event as Upload a File. Just select it, click on Connect, And because we have connected our Google Drive account in the previous step, you just have to select the existing connection and click on Save. After clicking on Save, the first thing it asks us is the URL. That what is the URL? What is the link of the file which we want to upload in Google Drive? So here guys, in the previous step, we have received the link of this PDF file which we have created. So we have to map this response of PDF file link over here. Just click on this field and from the drop down from Google Drive responses, select this response of PDF link and map it over here. After mapping this, the next thing it asks us is the folder ID. That on our Google Drive account, in which particular folder we want to upload this file. So we have to enter the folder ID of this particular folder over here. And to get the folder ID, you just have to open this folder in Google Drive, and then here in the URL section, after folder slash, you can see this ID. This is the unique folder ID. Just copy this folder ID from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After pasting the folder ID, the next thing it asks us is the file name. That the new file which we are uploading on Google Drive, what will be the file name of that particular file. And also we have to enter the file extension. Like we are uploading a PDF file, so after the file name, we have to enter file extension like .pdf with it. So we are going to use the same file name, the combination of the name of the candidate and then after a hyphen, an email of them. And then we are going to enter the extension as .pdf. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have some response received over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the file URL which we have mapped over here, basically the same document which we have created using Google Docs, the same document has been uploaded as a PDF file over here in this particular folder whose folder ID we have entered. And this is the name of that particular file, the PDF file. So let's check it. We will go to Google Drive and yes, here you can see that the PDF file of the same document which we have just now generated is in front of us. And in this document guys, you can see it is in PDF format with the same details of an item which we have added in mundane.com. This means guys, the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever a new item will be created in mundane.com, automatically with the details of that item, we are going to create a new document in Google Docs and then we are going to upload the PDF file of that document into our Google Drive folder. So here guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once in real time. We will go to mundane.com and we are going to enter or create a new item over here. For example, I'm going to enter the name of the candidate as test user. Here in item section, we were adding the name of the candidate and this item has been created. This means mundane.com has sent this new item details to Pabbly Connect. But because we have added a delay of 5 minutes, so after 5 minutes, this automation workflow will retrieve the details of this item. So till then, we can add the details of this item over here, for example, email address and all the other details. Let's select this date time, interview date as 29th and time as 11 p.m. So I'm going to enter the time as 11 a.m. and then 29th of April is the date. Interviewer is the same. In position from the drop down, for example, let's select project manager. Select the department as IT, location is on-site, and let's add a dummy address over here. And then some skills too. So I'm going to add some skill as, for example, so these are some skills. So in this way, you can see that a new item is created in mundane.com. And we will see as we create this item within 5 minutes, with this template document, a new document will be created with the same details. And the PDF file of that newly created document will be uploaded in this particular folder. So what we have to do, we just have to wait for 5 minutes over here. Okay, so we have successfully waited for 5 minutes. Now let's check our Google Drive folder. We'll go to Google Drive. And yes, here you can see that a PDF file has been added to this PDF file folder. We will open this PDF document and you can see the same details, the exact same details which we have added in the item in mundane.com. With the same details, a PDF file has been generated and stored in our Google Drive folder. The same date and time and then all the other same details over here. So in this way, you can see that guys, this automation workflow is working perfectly fine. And using this automation with the details of the item which we are creating in mundane.com, you can automatically create a document and add the PDF file of that document into Google Drive. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestions, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.